Welcome back to the quick revision of Module 1 from Modern Interface Design. In the previous videos, we have already discussed the importance and the benefits of good user interface design, the characteristics of GUI, the general principles of user interface design, and the differences between GUI and the web page design. In this video, we shall be discussing indirect and direct manipulations for the graphical systems, followed by the characteristics of intranet and internet. We begin our discussion with the concept of direct and indirect manipulation. So, graphics revolutionized design and user interfaces. Information floated in windows, small rectangular boxes that seem to rise above the background plane. Windows could also float above other windows, and controls appear to rise above the screens and move when activated. Now, the information could also appear and disappear as needed, and in some cases, text would be replaced by graphical images known as icons. So these icons represent objects or actions. All these were the results of the graphics revolution. So screen navigation and commands are executed through menu bars and pop and pull down menus. So sometimes menus could also pop up on the screen. So in the screen body, the selection fields such as radio buttons, checkboxes, list boxes, and pellets coexisted with the reliable old text entry field. More and more sophisticated text entry fields with attached or drop-down menus of alternative options also became available. And the screen objects and actions, typically selected through the use of pointing mechanisms such as mouse and joysticks, came into existence instead of the traditional keyboard mechanism. All this thing increased the computer power, and the vast improvement in the display enabled the system to react to users' actions quickly, dynamically, and meaningfully. Graphics representation of information basically utilizes a person's information processing capabilities much more effectively than any other presentation methods. When properly used, it reduces the requirements for perceptual and mental information recoding and reorganization, and also reduces memory loads to a certain extent. It permits faster information transfer between computer and people. Graphics can also add an appeal or charm to the interface and permit greater customization to create a unique style. The term used to describe graphical systems with this style of interaction was first called as direct manipulation system. So these direct manipulation systems possess the following characteristics. So direct manipulation systems, in such systems, we try to portray an extension of real world. It is assumed that a person is already familiar with the objects and actions in his or her environment of interest. The system simply replicates them and portrays them to a different medium and screen. A person has power to access and modify these objects, including the windows. A person here is now allowed to work in a familiar environment and in some familiar manner, focusing basically on the data and not on the application and tools. The next characteristics is the objects and the actions are continuously visible. Unlike one's desktop, objects here are continuously visible in the graphical interface, and the reminders of actions to be performed are always shown or popped up, whereas the labeled buttons now replace the complex syntax and the command names, and the cursor actions and motions occur in natural way. So similarly, the next characteristic here is the actions are rapid and incremental with visible display of results. The results of actions are very immediately displayed visually on the screen in their new and current form. Auditory feedback is also provided, and the impact of previous action is quickly seen, and the evolution of tasks is continuously effortless. So the next characteristics here is incremental actions are easily reversible. Finally, actions, if discovered to be incorrect or not desired, then they can be easily undone. So all these tend to be the characteristics of direct manipulation. So in practice, direct manipulation of all screen objects and actions may not always be feasible because the operations may be difficult to conceptualize in graphical systems, and sometimes the graphics capability of the system may be limited, and also the amount of space available for placing the manipulation controls in the window may be limited, and sometimes it may be difficult for people to learn and remember all the necessary operations and actions. When this occurs, indirect manipulation becomes the need of the hour. So indirect manipulation substitutes words and text such as pull down or pop-up menus for symbols and substitutes typing for pointing. Most Windows systems are a combination of both the direct and indirect manipulation. So let us look into what exactly could be the example of a direct manipulation. So if a menu is to be accessed by a pointing device at a menu icon and then selecting it, this operation we can now call it as direct manipulation. That is, if a menu may be accessed by a pointing device at a menu icon, a menu may be accessed by pointing at some menu icon and then selecting it would be an example for direct manipulation. And in case the menu itself, however, is a textual list of operations, when an operation is selected from this list by pointing or typing, the system executes it as a command. So this tends to be an example of an indirect manipulation. So now we move on to identifying the characteristics of intranet and internet. The strength of the web basically lies in its capability of hosting applications, linking the databases, and the processing occurring in variety of machines within a company or an organization. Within a closed system, queries against some database can be made, internal communication can be performed, and the information useful to the employees can be made available. So current systems can also be implemented with more traditional graphical user interfaces. Graphical business systems and web are merging into common entity, and these web systems these days are called as intranets. An intranet has many of the same characteristics as the internet, but they still have some differences. So they differ depending upon its type of users, the type of tasks that are being performed, the type of information that is to be accessed, and the amount of information that is being accessed, and also depends upon the hardware and the software requirements as well as its design philosophy. So now let us look into all these characteristics that differ an intranet from internet. one after the other. So the very first characteristics is its user. So the users of intranets the users of the intranet be the organization's employees who know a lot about the organization, its structure, its products, and its culture. So internet sites are used basically by customers and others who know much less about an organization and often care less about it. But the intranet users' characteristics and needs can be much more specifically be defined than those of the general internet users. So tasks. An intranet is used for organizations' everyday activities, including complex transactions, queries, and communications. But whereas internet is mainly used to find information, with supplementary use being simple transactions. So the type of information. An internet contains detailed information needed for an organizational function. But whereas information is often added or modified. The internet usually presents more stable information, maybe like marketing and customer or client information and reports. They differ depending upon the type of information they offer. So the amount of information. Typically, an intranet site is much larger than the organization's internet site. Massive amounts of information and processes seem to be needed to make an organization function. So it has been estimated that intranet site can be 10 or 100 times larger than the corresponding public site. And then the hardware and the software make them different. Because intranets exist in controlled environment, the kinds of computers, monitors, browsers, and other softwares can be restricted or standardized. The need for cross-platform compatibility is minimized or can be eliminated to a certain extent. Or it can be minimized or totally eliminated. So the design philosophy. Implementation on the intranet of the current text-based or GUI applications will cause a swing back to more traditional GUI designs. So designs that will also incorporate visual appeal of the web but eliminate many of its useless, promotional and distracting features, as intranet is basically focusing on the functioning of an organization. So these are the characteristics of intranet and internet.